everybody and welcome back to the channel. We are back with another food video, my favourites, and today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about how you can best sort of meal prep. First things first, something I'm really glad I had at university and something I think could be a really good essential and they're not too expensive, is to get yourself a slow cooker. Ask for one for Christmas, birthdays, or just go out and buy one, depending on your funds. But they're really not too expensive, and I had one throughout uni. I think mine was a Christmas present, and it really did help with that sort of bulk cooking, but also sort of food being prepared for when I got in of an evening and things like that. They are just a godsend. So today I'm going to make a spaghetti bolognese. And it's really quick and easy. It's a throw everything in the pot kind of thing. And there's no timings involved. There's no sort of extra faff. It all goes in a pot, you turn it on, and then you can do what you want for 4 to 8 hours, depending on what temperature you put it on. So today I'm gonna bulk cook a spaghetti bolognese for me and my housemate, to make loads of portions just so we can get in of an evening and not have to cook. We'll bulk cook it, freeze it. I explained a little bit about this in my living off £20 for a week, how I did that with a chilli. So similar sort of thing. So yeah, all we've got is some onions, some peppers, and some mushrooms. We've got 2 peppers, an onion and a half, and then the whole pack of mushrooms, because we are making a really big portion. And then I've got some beef mince here as well. Obviously you can do it with veggie mince, you could just do it with like beans and whatever, if you wanted to make it veggie or vegan. Over here I've got some salt and pepper, some basil, seasonal, oregano, make it nice and Italian and tomatoey with our chopped tomatoes. Sounds a bit weird. I don't know where I got this idea, it might have been my mom. I think it definitely was my mom. But with slow cookers, the only trouble is because it's cooking for so long, it can have a tendency to go a little bit watery. So to thicken that up, you can either put like corn flour in. For some reason, I use beef gravy granules and it makes it nice and thick and it just adds to the meaty flavour of a spaghetti bolognese. So that's what I use. So that's all our ingredients. Got some garlic here that I'm going to chop now. And I've decided to use the little mushroom container for my food waste as well, which is a nice little thing to use. Don't know why I'm telling you that, but top tips. There's really not much prep involved. So what I usually like to do, why have I chosen to speak while I'm chopping the onions? Give me a minute. So what I usually like to do whilst that's on is I'll either, so when I was at uni I'd just go out for the day while it was on, but what I tend to do now is I'll, like on a nice Sunday or something, I'll go and do a big shop, get a slow cooker meal on like this, and then cook some other stuff while that's cooking, and for like lunches for the week. So whilst this is cooking today, I'm gonna do some stuff for my lunches for the next couple of days. So it really is a productive, nice little food prep video we've got going on here. I'm literally sobbing. Oh, okay, so these are going in now. I forgot to say as well that this shop in Sainsbury's, so Sainsbury's is not the cheapest supermarket, but it's the closest. This shop cost me about £10, I think, for all of this stuff. And that'll be split between me and my housemate. I swear I made about 16 portions of the chilli. So it really does go quite far, and they're quite decent portions as well. I use the slow cooker mainly for, like I say, like if I was going out to a lecture for the day, I might pop in like a vegetable stew or like a beef stew in the morning before I'd head out to lectures. And then you'd get in from your lectures and it was like, oh, your dinner's ready. It's quite nice. It's almost like you're still being, like if you were someone that like your parents cooked for you a lot, it's almost like you're coming into home cooked food again, even though you've made it. It's a little treat from your, it's a treat for your future self. And I really like cooking, so I don't mind cooking every night of the week, but if you're someone that doesn't like cooking, It's a great way of doing it all in one day and getting it out of the way, and your dinner just sort of being ready for most nights. I'm just seasoning the dish, so I've popped a little bit of seasoning on top, and then I'm going to stir it, and then I'm going to repeat the same thing. So like I say, I've used basil, oregano, seasonal, and I'm going to use a little bit of salt and pepper as well. I typically would use some chili flakes too, but Catherine's not a big fan of the spicy stuff. So what I can do is when I serve mine up, I could just sprinkle some chili flakes on top that way. She also doesn't love this, so I'm not going to use too much of this. But yeah, give that a stir, and then you'll be good to put in your chopped tomatoes as well. I guess Catherine doesn't need to know about a few little chili flakes. Typically on most slow cookers, you either put it on high for about 4 hours, or you put it on low for about 8 hours. So you can kind of judge that on the amount of time you plan being out of the house, or like if you're putting it on in the morning, obviously you don't want it to be ready at lunchtime, you'd rather be ready at dinner time, so you put it on for longer. But if you just pop into a quick afternoon lecture and you want to put it on and it'd be ready for when you're home, you might put it on at a higher setting. So it's quite good like that. You can kind of tailor it to what is going to best sort of suit you. So I've used 2 of the sort of small little chopped tomatoes. It might be that if you want it extra saucy, you add a little bit more. I always have chopped tomatoes in the cupboard, so if I need to add a little bit more later on, I will. Great little tip for making it extra saucy is so much gets left in the bottom of these, so add a little bit of water, swill it around and put that in. But like I say, it does get a little bit watery when you do that, so chances are later I'll be adding in some gravy granules. That little dish comes in and out of the slow cooker, so you can pop it out to put all your stuff in like we just have, whack it in, whack the lid on, and leave it for a good 8 hours. I then spent in Sainsbury's a further £3.35, I think it was, to get 2 chicken breasts, a little broccoli tree, and Uncle Ben's quinoa rice. Obviously it would be cheaper to do your own, but I'm rubbish at cooking rice and anything similar, so I've gone for that. All I'm going to do now is season this chicken and put it in the oven, boil some broccoli, and I'll take that with me on the days. So basically I'm going to use these for lunches at work for the next 2 days. I actually have some leftover broccoli from this week, so I'll use that up first. And obviously this has got to feed me for 2 days, so put a decent amount in. I really won't need much more than what I've put in actually, so I can probably use the rest of this broccoli if I wanted to have the spaghetti bolognese with no carbs, if I wanted to just have it with some broccoli instead. I usually really like that. It sounds boring, but broccoli is my favourite vegetable. Is that rubbish? Okay, so we've got some broccoli in there. I'll boil that and then I'll roast this chicken up. Best thing about a slow cooker is you do all the prep, then you can do all the cleaning, and all you've got to do is serve it up and you haven't got loads of washing up afterwards. Gonna stop speaking now while the kettle boils. Prep is that, like I said about the timings, nothing has to be ready at the same time, so I'm just going to boil the broccoli now, even though it'll be ready before the chicken, because I can just pop it in the lunchbox, and when the chicken's ready I'll pop that in there too. So like I say, it's all very free, just shoving stuff in the oven, shoving stuff to boil, and when it's all ready, pop it in the relevant lunchboxes to prep for your meals for the week. Okay, so the broccoli is on to boil. I've now put some olive oil, seasonal, salt and pepper, a little bit of basil, basically any seasoning I've got lying around, which is the ones I've just used. Oh, I'm going to pop a bit of chilli in there too. But yeah, if you put enough seasoning and oil in the bottom, you can basically just kind of like smother your chicken breasts in them, roll them around a bit, make sure they're all covered in seasoning. If you don't think they've got enough seasoning on by the time you've turned them over a couple of times, you can always add a bit more on top anyway. Add a tiny little bit So you put them in some foil, add a tiny little bit of water because it keeps them nice and juicy, it stops them going dry. Wrap this foil all closed, keep all the heat in. It also keeps your baking trays a little bit cleaner. So you've almost got a little pod like this, and then that will go in the oven for about half an hour. I just take it out and keep checking it and putting it back in, but it's, yeah, about half an hour. So the spaghetti bolognese is on, the chicken is on. Now all I need to do is clean up all this mess and have some lunch. I like to keep the seasoning out next to the slow cooker so that I can keep like adding to it throughout the day if I am here. And there's also no point washing this spoon because I will probably stir it a couple of times as well. So I tend to get like a little plate to put it on so I don't get the side dirty, and leave that next to the slow cooker as well. So it turns out I made far too much broccoli. I've got enough for my 2 meals there, the chicken's still cooking, and I've also got another little bit here that I'll just put with something else throughout the week. Future Liv coming at you here. I've just got back from work to the beautiful smell of a spaghetti bolognese in my house, which is probably one of the best bits about the bulk cooking, I've got to say. It's starting to look really good, let me show you. It's basically nearly ready, I think, because I put it on the 4-hour one because I was only going in for the last little part of the afternoon for work. So it is looking good. I don't even think I'll have to add many gravy granules. So yeah, perfect. Random little clip I'm just inserting here. I kept telling you it was going to make 16 portions and I thought I'd better be honest. I think probably maybe it has made that many portions, but the first portion me and Kat had, we were so hungry that we just had huge portions. So the day I cooked it, that night me and Kat decided to have it. Kat had it with a little bit of pasta and I had it with like some big chunks of broccoli. Just because I quite like doing that sometimes. But yeah, I thought I would show you exactly how many other portions we made. So let me just set you down here for a moment. They're just in the freezer. As you can see, I'd say this and this are 1 portion, and that this one in the big box is 2 portions. So that's like Kat's section. So Kat's already had 1 portion, then she's got 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I've got the same. So I've got 2 of the little ones and 1 big one. So in total we made 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then the ones we had the other day, 9, 10. So 10 portions, still not bad, considering I spent, was it 10 or 11 pounds on ingredients? That's like £1 for a spaghetti bolognese, so very, very cheap, very good. I guess the video's either ending here or I'm gonna like skip back to the outro. Either way, catch you later. But yeah guys, I hope you've enjoyed this video and I hope it's helped you be a little bit motivated to do some meal prep and get yourself organised. Meal prep is a gift to your future self. You're making a little bit of food for yourself. It means you can come in one night and all you've got to do is get something out of the freezer, whack it in the microwave and put some pasta on. So it is just so much quicker, so much easier, and it is just nice to know that you haven't got to think about cooking every single day, and that everything's going to be ready for you. And it's really good to prep those lunches. It's so tempting when you're out and about, or when you're at university, or when you're out and about in town or whatever, to buy lunch out. And a great saving strategy is just to have that food with you. Obviously at my work, I'm able to heat up, so I'm gonna have like chicken and rice and stuff, but you could meal prep some other things for lunch that were much easier to eat on the go. Let me know what other videos that you do want to see around sort of cooking and things like that. I'd be really happy to know what you want to see next. Pop that in the comments below. I hope you found this video helpful, and yeah, that's it. I'll see you very soon, guys. Bye.